Low pressure to the north of New Zealand is disappearing and the spring westerlies are returning. Hi, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you very much for joining us. We're tracking this big low to the north of New Zealand. It's been driving down heavy isolated downpours and thunderstorms for the last couple of days. Most of the thunderstorms around Northland, some of them dropping down towards Auckland. But you notice that windy easterly coming through there? Well, that's a different set of weather. So you've got the subtropical flow coming down. We've got the colder southerly coming up. And when you take a closer look, you can see the two winds merge like a zip. A lot of Aucklanders know that term. So the windy conditions are coming through. So eastern areas of Waikato and the western side of the Kaimai Range is pretty blustery stuff overnight and into this morning, all because of that little squash zone. But the centre of that low is tracking sideways, tracking to the east, and so it will clear away. So look at tomorrow's weather map for lunchtime Wednesday. The low way out to the east. So it does track away quite quickly overnight tonight. And behind it, there's a big high over Australia, something they don't need. They've got significant fires burning over in Australia at the moment, very early in the season for them to be dealing with that. But we don't get the high pressure, we get the outer edges of it. So a windier, for some areas anyway, a bit of a windier change. It's not too major. South to southwesterlies though, that's the change on Wednesday. So for many other places, that will actually warm up the rest of New Zealand. But for those in the very north who've had subtropical weather, you've now got the cooler change, and the rest of the country will play a very small violin for you. Now let's move on to the rest of the week. Thursday, we still see more of those winds coming through, but it's warming up really everywhere. And if you're on the eastern side, you're pushing up towards the later teens or the mid to late teens, which is a big step up from where you were on Monday in the single digits. So things are warming up as a result of the windy westerlies. Rain or showers coming back to the west coast, but most other places look dry. But on Friday, we do have another change coming in. It's another cold front. See that dark blue line? South of that, you've got a change coming with colder weather. But north of it, it's warm. So Canterbury, a classic example, you'll be pushing up into the late teens. You might even reach 20 degrees on Friday in some areas, but then later on, the cooler change comes in and your temperatures drop. The North Island, you've got nor'westers and a couple of showers, but it's really dry around the whole island. But things do change at night, and by Saturday, that cold front moves up to you, and the North Island gets the change and the temperature drop behind it. But a little bit like last weekend, high pressure down to the south means it's a little bit complicated for the South Island. You've got sort of northeasterlies and some rain or drizzle making it into Canterbury, which will be welcome. The area is getting a little bit dry, not much though. And in the north, for those of you who do want some dry weather, got a little low there coming on Sunday, but after that, we do have some drier weather thanks to the high. So hopefully we will get, sort of half of the weather now in the north of New Zealand is dry, the other half is wet. Days, I mean. So hopefully we've got a bit of a balancing act going on now. We'll get some drier, warmer, sunnier weather coming in to northern New Zealand. That is all from me. We'll see you again tomorrow with the latest.